Man, I fucking swear, religious people are fucking most irritating people to argue with. Simply on the fact that they ignore your arguments. They don't argue them at all. They just fucking skip over them. They kind of remind me of a really stupid person, except stupid people have the capacity to learn. They have the capacity to acknowledge when they're wrong and to be shown the right direction. But religious people, they're so set on thinking that they're like the smartest people out there that they're unwilling to admit when they're wrong. They're unwilling to admit any of that crap for faith alone. And honestly, if you're going to fucking treat it that way, I mean, fucking look who are atheists out there. You have the Mythbusters, which I find greatly just it's just too awesome because I mean, people who fucking bust myths and do Hollywood effects to know like what could easily be faked and not. I mean, Penn and Teller, another great example. Magicians who know where, oh, these miracles could have been faked. And, I mean, it's not that hard of a concept. I mean, fucking Stephen Hawking, atheist, fucking smart motherfucker. Scientists, mostly atheist. I mean, come on. Seriously. How hard is it to understand? Like, I don't even ask you to just, I don't ask for you to magically give up your faith. I just ask for you to have a fucking open mind and actually listen to our arguments because it seems like we can go through every every time the Bible contradicts itself, which is a staggering amount. It's enough to write a book in itself, and it's simple contradictions. It's not even complex ones. It's like, oh, God created Adam. Adam did not get created by God. Like simple things like that, they'll directly counter each other. They'll be like, just for a direct example, say God exists. Then in the very next sentence, it'll be like God doesn't exist. Just things like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like the fact that you are unwilling to even, man, fucking religious people piss me off. And like, how arrogant do you have to be to think you're going to always be right? Your religion is always going to be right. If there is an all-powerful maker, then why the fuck would he want you praising him? Why wouldn't he want you being a good person? I mean, that seems like more important to me than anything else. And I mean, that's always what I went by. And you know, if you I heard this example today. Fucking, if you repent, if Hitler repented on his deathbed, he'd get into heaven. Whereas good people, you know, if they're atheists, they're going to hell. How does that work? Not that, like, I would actually want to go to the Christian heaven anyways. It sounds like a fucking joke. Like, I'd rather kick it with the devil, honestly. He sounds like a pro. He sounds like Dexter, fucking killing bad people, or torturing, rather. But the whole idea, though, it's just so flawed. Like, how can you simply ignore logical arguments? The one that got me when fucking I was 13, I was raised by a hardcore Catholic father, and I always questioned, like, I would relentlessly question like what he was saying, and he would find ways to justify it and distort it. But the one that got me was natural sin. For those of you who do not know, which you should because you're religious, or rather, the ones this is aimed at are religious. Natural sin is the concept of Adam and Eve eating the apple, and them being cast out of heaven, and God holds a big fucking grudge and passes it on to all of humanity. How does this work? And that concept, if a baby doesn't get baptized, they go to hell or purgatory if they die. That right there was got what just shattered all that I had been told before. Like, pretty much, that was the first time I took an outside perspective on all that had been taught to me about religion, because my dad had taught it to me as fact. It's flat up. And, you know, when I took an outside perspective, I was just like, they really got me to believe all that horseshit. I mean, seriously. If you teach a kid religion at such a young age, it's brainwashing, flat up. You should never, ever do that. Like, getting to them before they have the chance to argue, the chance to think for themselves is just so disgusting. And it fucks you up pretty good when you realize just all, like, everything you were taught, fucking bullshit. It's like fucking Santa Claus, like, except way, way more in depth. Like, it's like just a fucking world of lies. And it just all falls to pieces when you take an outside perspective on it. And that's all I want you to do. I mean, it's not that hard. You just say, hey, there's a scientific non-belief system here. Let's take a look in their eyes, how evolution happened. And then let's compare that to our belief, and let's just take their viewpoint on our belief. God created everything in 7 days. I'm sorry, but no artist in the world could create a masterpiece in the scale and size and all of that. Like, and you're talking about the whole universe. If you're gonna argue the fact that it's not a masterpiece, you are completely lost. But if you're trying to give the credit to God, it just throws us back. Like, all the creation, all the things humans, mankind has discovered, has worked towards, the progress, you throw it all away and give credit to God. It's flat up disrespectful. Because, I mean, there are people who spend their lives on fucking discovering this stuff, and then you're just like, oh, God did it. I mean, I'm a writer, and I wouldn't want fucking someone taking credit for my writing. I do it. I write. It's not up for God to be like, oh, I gave you that gift. Fuck you. I went through hell to become how I am, to be able to write how I do. It's not anything to do with God, other than the fact that it fucked me up at a young age. So, I mean,